Welcome. Today we're diving into a topic that many of us can relate to, dealing with disappointment when things don't work out as planned. Picture this. You've invested time, energy, and passion into a project, a relationship, or a goal. You've given it your all, but despite your best efforts, it didn't turn out the way you hoped. Maybe you're feeling a mix of emotions: frustration, sadness, perhaps even a sense of failure. It's natural to feel this way, but how do we move forward from here? In this episode, we'll turn to Stoic philosophy for guidance. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control, accept what we cannot, and find peace in the present moment. We'll explore how to apply these principles to your situation so you can heal, grow, and ultimately be just fine. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let's begin this journey together. 1. Acceptance and letting go. Focus, accepting what happened and releasing the past. As Stoics, one of the first lessons we learn is the importance of acceptance. The philosopher Epictetus said, "We should always be asking ourselves, is this something that is or is not in my control?" When something doesn't work out, it's crucial to recognize that the outcome was likely influenced by factors beyond your control. Perhaps there were external circumstances, other people's actions, or simply the unpredictability of life. Whatever the case, the event has passed and we cannot change it. Dwelling on what ifs or if-onlys only prolongs our suffering. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." This concept, known as amor fati, or love of fate, encourages us to embrace whatever happens, seeing it as necessary and part of a larger plan. But acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means acknowledging reality as it is so we can respond wisely. It's about freeing ourselves from the burden of wishing things were different and instead focusing on what we can do now. To practice acceptance, try this exercise. Think about the situation that didn't work out. Write down the facts, what happened, without judgment or emotion. Then ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? By shifting your perspective, you transform a setback into an opportunity for growth. Letting go of the past is equally important. The Stoics remind us that the present moment is all we truly have. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." When we ruminate on past events, we relive the pain unnecessarily. One way to let go is through mindfulness. Take a few minutes each day to sit quietly, focus on your breath, and observe your thoughts without attachment. When memories or regrets arise, acknowledge them, but let them pass like clouds in the sky. Another Stoic practice is the evening reflection. Before bed, review your day, noting what went well and what didn't. Then, consciously release any negative emotions, telling yourself, what's done is done. Tomorrow is a new day. By accepting what has happened and letting go of the past, you create space for healing and new possibilities. 2. Effort and control. Focus, understanding what was in your control and evaluating your efforts. In Stoicism, there's a clear distinction between what's in our power and what's not. Our actions, thoughts, and responses are within our control, but outcomes often are not. When something doesn't work out, it's helpful to reflect on your efforts. Did you give it your all, or do you feel you could have done more? Regardless of the answer, the Stoics remind us that we can control our efforts, but not always the results. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." It's important to evaluate your efforts honestly. Ask yourself, did I act with diligence and integrity? Did I do my best with the resources and knowledge I had at the time? If the answer is yes, then you can be at peace, knowing you fulfilled your duty. If you feel you could have done more, treat it as a lesson, not a failure. The Stoic concept of amor fati, love of fate, applies here too. Accept the outcome as necessary while focusing on how you can improve moving forward. This doesn't mean passivity. It means giving your all and then letting go of attachment to the results. To shift your focus to what you can control, try this. The next time you're faced with a challenge, list the aspects within your control. your actions, attitude, preparation, and those outside it, other people's reactions, external events. Then direct your energy solely to the first list. By focusing on your efforts and letting go of what you can't control, you align yourself with Stoic principles and reduce unnecessary stress. 3. Emotional healing. Focus feeling emotions and healing through reflection. Now let's talk about emotions. There's a common misconception that Stoics suppress their feelings, but that's not true. Stoics feel emotions. They just strive to manage them rationally. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Feeling emotions is natural and important. Suppressing them isn't healthy, but we should aim to understand our emotions, why we feel them, and not let them dictate our actions impulsively. When something doesn't work out, allow yourself to feel the disappointment, sadness, or frustration, but also take a step back and observe these emotions without judgment. One Stoic technique is to pause and breathe. When you feel overwhelmed, close your eyes, take slow, deep breaths, and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is this emotion helping me, or is it clouding my judgment? Another practice is premeditatio malorum, anticipating potential challenges. While this doesn't prevent emotions, it prepares you to respond to them wisely. For example, before starting a new project, consider possible setbacks. This mental preparation can make disappointments feel less overwhelming. Healing also requires self-reflection. The Stoics practice daily reviews to process their experiences. Each evening, reflect on the day. What went well, what didn't, how did you feel, and why? This practice helps you understand your emotions and release lingering negativity. By feeling your emotions without distraction and reflecting on them, you pave the way for genuine healing. Self-forgiveness and compassion. Focus, forgiving yourself and being gentle. Stoicism emphasizes virtue and self-improvement, but it also acknowledges human imperfection. When something doesn't work out, it's easy to criticize yourself, replaying mistakes in your mind. But excessive guilt or shame is counterproductive. Epictetus wrote, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well." In a way, this includes accepting our own actions and limitations. Forgiving yourself isn't about excusing mistakes. It's about recognizing that you're human, and mistakes are opportunities for growth. Reframe self-criticism as constructive feedback. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I improve next time? Then let go of the guilt. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This applies to how we treat ourselves too. Be honest, but don't punish yourself unnecessarily. Self-compassion might seem at odds with Stoicism, but it aligns with the Stoic virtue of kindness. Being gentle with yourself is a strength, not a weakness. It means recognizing that setbacks don't define you. Your character and actions do. To practice self-compassion, try this. Imagine a friend in your situation. What would you say to them? Likely you'd offer encouragement and understanding. Now extend that same kindness to yourself. By forgiving yourself and being compassionate, you maintain the mental fortitude needed to move forward. Conclusion. As we wrap up, let's recap the key takeaways from today's episode. Accept what has happened, recognizing that some things are beyond your control. Focus on your efforts, not just the outcomes, and evaluate them honestly. Let go of the past, embracing the present moment. Feel your emotions, but manage them wisely through reflection and understanding. Forgive yourself, treating mistakes as lessons rather than failures. Be gentle with yourself, recognizing that self-compassion is a strength. Remember, as the Stoics teach us, true happiness comes from within, from living virtuously and in accordance with nature. So whatever has happened, you have the tools to move forward. You're going to be just fine, love. Take a moment today to reflect on something that didn't work out as planned. Apply these Stoic principles and see how it changes your perspective. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found this episode helpful, share it with someone who might need it. Until next time, stay resilient, stay thoughtful, and remember, you've got this.